Welcome to Northern Cyprus News, October edition. You know how every month we say, well, this one couldn't get any crazier, and then Northern Cyprus looks at us, sips its Turkish coffee and says, hold my halloumi. October came with elections, scandals, farmers blaming the weather, and one man paying alimony to cats. So grab your coffee or stress relief pills because here's what happened this month on our little but never boring island. Police now is armed with drug tests. The Northern Cyprus police finally upgraded from whistles to science. No more blowing into a random tube, my dear friends. Now you get scanned like an airport luggage. These new drug and alcohol testers can tell if you've had a drink, a joint, or just a bad week. The goal in here is to scare people enough to drive straight. Anyone caught with over 0.15 promille might lose their license for up to 6 months, gain a new hobby, which is walking. Moral of the story, my dear friends, if your beer costs less than your fine, it is not worth it. Cost of living, my dear friends, hit new records again. A family of 4 now needs 34,158 Turkish lira a month just to exist. That's 800 Turkish lira more than in August, mainly because bread decided to join the luxury market. The union wants high minimum wages and benefits. The government wants another meeting. And at this point, living minimum sounds more like a survival subscription. So if you are not importing your own zucchini, you are actually losing money. 60% of food is imported. We are basically a fancy fridge. According to a Dialogue newspaper, 6 out of 10 things you eat took a ferry first. Fresh veggies, fruit, meats, all imported, all expensive and all wrapped in hope and plastic. Famagusta can't farm enough because it's too dry over there, and even the tomatoes are asking for moisturizers. Economists say invest in greenhouses. Government says we like imports, they make customs happy. At this rate, a salad is basically a luxury item, served with a side of exchange rate anxiety. Good news for Northern Cyprus drivers, bad news for those with a heavy foot. If you don't know, it's individuals that like to speed. New AI speed cameras are being rolled out, but they only record when you are speeding. Think of it as a toxic relationship. It only pays attention when you do something wrong. 150 cameras are now active, 130 of which are fixed and 20 mobile ones. And none of them are interested in your excuses. But for now at least, they are not tracking seatbelts and phones yet, so keep your snack photos coming while you can. Developer on trial, the Afik saga. Remember Afik Grip, the one that built Caesar Resorts? So the founder Simon Mistreli Aykut, the man with 3 passports and one big problem, finally confessed to some charges in Nicosia court. He's accused of using Greek Cypriot land for projects in the north without authorization. It's one of the biggest property cases on the island, and it's a good reminder, always check the title deed before you check the view. Facebook auto scams. Police warn about fake car sales on social media. You send money, they send nothing. Classic Roman scam, but with Toyota Corollas. Authorities say don't pay before you see the car. It sounds simple, right? Apparently not, because scammers are still doing better sales than some dealers. So if the price is too good to be true, so is the car. Speed racer got fined after going viral. In Lefke, a driver turned the main road into Fast and Furious Village Drift edition. He filmed himself speeding, posted it online, and police said, thanks for the evidence. The man got fined 10,000 Turkish lira, which is basically a masterclass in self-snitching. Court said guilty, the internet said legendary. Moral, next time post your dinner, not your crimes. Fake government SMS, click and lose your wallet. North Cyprus Transport Ministry warns scammers now send official texts pretending to be from Turkish road authorities. The message looks serious, but the link leads straight to financial heartbreak. Authorities remind everyone, real notification come from portals, not random numbers. And if your government asks for your credit card details, that's not a democracy, that is phishing. Lesson, don't let curiosity click your paycheck away. The election earthquake, Erhurman takes the north. October 19, 2025, Northern Cyprus elected Tufan Erhurman with 62.7% of the vote. The new president promised dialogue and balance with Turkey, while Ankara quietly checks its blood pressure. The south sends congrats. The North took a deep breath, and the investors opened calculators. Because when politics move, property prices twitch, and everyone knows it. For a deeper look into the election and what's next, check out my full breakdown on my YouTube channel. United Nations and their comeback tour. The UN is getting ready to host another five-party meeting on Cyprus. Turkey, Greece, the UK, and the both sides of the island at one table. If you watched the series before, you know it's season 43, the return of the mediator. The goal is to restart peace talks before the European Union chairmanship rotates to Cyprus in 2026, which would make negotiations as awkward as a divorce hearing hosted in your ex-living room. 69 car crashes in a week. Welcome to Bumper Island. Police reported 69 accidents in 7 days, 30 people injured, and damages are over 2.8 million Turkish lira. Lefkoşa leads the chaos chart, followed by Carvenia and then Famagusta. Main causes are speed, carelessness, and people thinking stop sign means optional. 12,000 vehicles were checked, 1,200 drivers fined. And at this point, the only thing moving safely in Cyprus is anxiety itself. A Turkish man ordered to pay alimony to cats. A man in Istanbul must now pay 10,000 Turkish lira every 3 months for 10 years in car alimony after a divorce. Yes, catrimony is now a thing. 2 fluffy dependents and a full custody to the ex-wife. Payments continue until 2035 plus inflation. Some people fund startups, others fund viscous. Imagine what would have happened if he had hamsters. Turkey would probably need a new budget plan. The Great Grocery Climb. Food prices are climbing so fast they need a rope and a helmet. Some vegetables are now 70 lira a kilo, which means zucchini joined the stock market. Traders blame energy costs and fertilizers. Consumers blame traders. Everyone blames inflation, of course, and people are switching to cheaper alternatives because tomatoes become a birthday treat and onions now are status symbol. If you own a property with a garden, congratulations, you own a farm. Toxic apples. 2 imported apple batches, Golden and Gala, tested over pesticide limits. The government destroyed one batch and sent the other one back home to rethink its life choices. Good news, 46 other imports passed the test, so you can still eat your vitamins in peace. But next time you see shiny apples, remember, Snow White almost died from one. A bomb joke that didn't land. A Turkish Airlines passenger decided to test in-flight comedy by saying there was a bomb on the plane. Spoiler alert, nobody laughed. The plane stopped, police came in, and our comedian got a private security escort off the flight. Turns out, shouting bomb on the plane is the quickest way to lose both your seat and your sense of humor. Moral of the story, if you want attention, clap on landing like everyone else. Restaurant Roulette, the hygiene edition. The municipality of Lefkoşa decided to play a game. Guess who is clean? And inspected 200 businesses, restaurants, salons, and markets. 27 were closed, 8 weren't, and a few had their products confiscated faster than airport shampoo. Violations? Well, missing licenses, expired health cards, and hygiene standards last seen in the 80s. Fines reached 1 month's salary, which makes washing your hands officially cheaper than not. Moral, if the waiter looks nervous when you order fish, run. Workers living in ruins. A shocking report revealed that some migrant workers in northern Cyprus are living in half-collapsed buildings without WhatsApp power or dignity. Officials say employers offer housing, but it's basically concrete camping. New regulations allow deducting up to 40% of salaries for housing and meals. Sounds generous until you realize the walls have holes. Unions are suing, saying this legalizes exploitation instead of fixing it. And meanwhile, the government says we will look into it. Well, hopefully before the roof caves in. Scandal in Turkish football, when referees bet on themselves. You know Turkish football loves drama, but this time the plot twist didn't come from the players. Out of 571 referees and officials, 371 had betting accounts and 152 were actively gambling. Yes, my dear friends, some of them were literally betting on matches they were officiating. Talk about knowing the score in advance. One referee allegedly placed over 18,000 bets, and at that point, it's not gambling, it's a full-time job with overtime. Now the Turkish Football Federation is launching investigations. FIFA is sharpening its ban hammer, and fans are wondering if referees were actually checking the odds instead of the offside line. Let's just say in Turkey, even football has a little bit of casino energy. Laptas Camelot Beach, from paradise to private parade grounds. You know, things are getting serious when even the beach gets drafted. Laptas' beloved Camelot Beach, once a hangout for students, locals, and anyone with a towel, is now under military control and officially off limits to civilians. It used to be managed by the Girna American University, but apparently even universities have student loans these days. They run out of funds to keep it going. Now, the only ones enjoying the sea breeze are soldiers and maybe their surgeons, if they behave. The 10th AXA Photo Fest is here, the annual separate celebration where your camera gets to feel important. 5 categories: life in Caribbean, heritage, nature, sports, and 3 themes for the truly unemployed. Winners get 15,000 Turkish lira each, which is almost enough to buy a tripod these days. Deadline November 15th, so grab your camera, pretend you understand lightning, and submit your best shot of a cat by the sea. Hunting season opens, and so do police eyes. Get ready, hunters! The season starts November the 2nd, but the rules read like a Netflix disclaimer. No night hunting, no driving with loaded guns, no shooting near houses and lakes, and no posting epic hunting selfies. Even dogs are regulated now. Only 3 are allowed and they all need their own paperwork. Anyone breaking the rules faces heavy fines and license bans. Basically, the only thing you can hunt really this season is a common sense. A Botox bandit of Iskele. In Iskele, a cosmetologist was caught running a secret Botox studio with substances strong enough to numb an elephant. Municipal inspectors found narcotic-grade anesthetics and undeclared imports, basically a pharmacy in a handbag. The place was shut down, the owner is fined, and the customs now have a homework. Another beauty salon was closed too for cutting hair without a license. Lessons of the day, my dear friends: if Botox comes with WhatsApp location pin, it's probably not sterile. Snail season. When it rains, it slims. After the first autumn rains, Cypriots grab baskets and hunt for snails. Not with guns, but with patience. It's a national sport called quiet hunting, where you collect dinner that moves slower than your Wi-Fi on the island. Locals swear by feeding them flour for a few days to detox. And yes, my dear friends, even snails get spot treatments on this island. Then they are cooked in wine, tomatoes, and herbs, a dish called salingaria, or as I call it, the ultimate proof that Cypriots can turn anything that moves into a gourmet. Mayors meet. North and South talk peace over coffee. The mayors of North and South Nicosia met again. Yes, my dear friends, in the same room, no barbed wire between them. Hosted by the British High Commission at Redra Palace, the meeting focused on one radical idea: talking to each other again. Young people joined in, asking for more cross-border spaces, events, and less politics. Both mayors said they would support youth initiatives because, let's face it, adults had 50 years to fix this and mostly build walls and roundabouts. Famagusta's Clean School, Clean City campaign. Famagusta launched Clean School, Clean City. A program teaching kids that throwing trash on the ground is so 2003. There will be competitions, AI posters, yes, the robots will judge you, and the White Flag Award for the cleanest school. The mayor said, a clean city exists only when it's respected. And honestly, that's the kind of quote that should be printed on every trash bin. The project runs until spring 2026, so if you see students sweeping the playground, be proud. They are literally building the future, one dustpan at a time. Water crisis in the south when the taps start whispering. The Republic of Cyprus is down to just 11% of its water reserves. That's not a metaphor, my dear friends, that's a real crisis. Officials say desalination is the only way forwards. Great. except it uses enough energy to power a small village of air conditioners. Farmers are furious, vines are dry, and politicians are thirsty for votes and solutions. Meanwhile, Turkey and Tennessee keep offering to help with water, and the South keeps saying no thank you, which feels like refusing an umbrella in a storm because you don't like the brand. Final wrap up, reality check, and real estate angles. So that's October, a month when people took photos, botoxed illegally, fed snails flour, and debated who owned the sun at the beach. The South is dying out, the North is tightening the rules, and the rest of us are just trying to find parking in Carvania. But through this all, real estate keeps booming because no matter what the politicians say, people still want a view, a pool, and a Wi-Fi that works sometimes. So until next month, stay informed, stay hydrated, and if you're thinking of investing, you know where to DM me.